Hello, horror fanatics. This is J.A.R. 369, and welcome back for another horror figure review, or figures, for 31 horror toys in 31 days. Today, I'll be taking a look at the NECA Toony Terrors Series 10 of the Universal Monsters that features Frankenstein's monster from Frankenstein, Dracula from Dracula, the werewolf from the Wolfman from the Wolfman, and the Mummy from the Mummy. All made by NECA, of course. So, take a look at each of the packaging. You can see the window exposing the figure in, well, basically none of them came with accessories except Dracula. He does come with the accessories. On the top says Toony Terrors, Universal Monsters. And it's recommended for ages 17 plus, warning choking hazard. And you get the NECA logo right there. Funny enough, on the Dracula figure, on top of the NECA logo, there's the Bela Lugosi company logo right there, which is interesting because, well, something had to do with Lugosi states or something like that. And you get the names of the characters or whatever movies they're from. Well, they all have like the names of the characters, but for Dracula, again, it does say Bela Lugosi as Dracula. Interesting is that it doesn't say like Boris Karloff as Frankenstein or Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman or Boris Karloff as the Mummy. So yeah, you can see the background, the castle and everything, the woods and the bats there, and the full moon in the background there. And on the back, there's like the image of the cutout of the background drop here. So that's about it for the packaging. Let's take out all of the classic monsters out of their package. Here are the rest of the Universal monsters out of their package. Let's take a closer look at each of them. Let me start off with Frankenstein's monster. Now, the head sculpt here looks pretty good. It looks exactly like how he is if he was a Scooby-Doo character, which, to be fair, Frankenstein's monster did appear in an episode of Scooby-Doo where the gang find a haunted castle where the fortune teller tells him or something. I forgot, but it looks nothing like how he is. Not like the Universal Classic version, but like in the Scooby-Doo style, if you guys know what I mean. But still, really not too bad. The head sculpt looks good. The makeup effect looks exactly like Boris Karloff here. You can see the scar on top of his forehead. You get the flat top here, and you can see a little whites right there, a little shade of white on his hair. You can see some stitches wrapped around the neck here and the bolts there as well. Take a look at the outfit here. You can see the green jacket here, and you get a black shirt there, some sculpted pockets there, and a little button right here. And you can see some stitches and staples on his wrist hands, on both of them. And you can see like one hand's like normally down while the other hand's just like up. I'm pretty sure if you rotate it makes more sense. You can see some of the finger and the fingernails sculpted there. Nothing much of the lower legs, just the gray pants here. And you can see like the boots here. They're not like big like Frankenstein's boots, but you can see like one leg, it's just like standing up. And on the bottom, there's some legalese there and a single peg on the bottom of his feet. So yeah, overall for the figure, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Pretty decent. So that's it for Frankenstein's monster. And let's move on to Dracula. The likeness to Bela Lugosi, yeah, it's pretty good. Not too bad at all. Not too bad. Looks exactly like how he is if he was a Scooby-Doo character. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. You can see like one eyebrow raised, and you get the slick back hair. Take a look at his outfit here. You can see it's just a very Dracula-ish outfit. You get the gray vest, white shirt, and you get the medallion right there. You get the bow tie here. And you can see some sculpted buttons there as well. Take a look at the hands. You can see like this one hand look like holding on for his accessory, which is a candle. And the other hand likes to like come Come, follow me. And you get the cape here, which is removable. You can see the peg hole right there, and the peg. You get the peg and the peg hole in the back with the legalese there. And as you can see, the inside of the cape is gray instead of red, which is weird. I don't know why NECA did not paint the cape red on the inside. Well, it makes sense because the Ultimates version doesn't have like the red paint inside. Take off the display stand. You can see just the usual fancy looking boots, the shoes here, but no scope the shoelace here. On the bottom, there's a single peg hole and no legalese there as well. So yeah, overall for the Dracula, it's not bad, not too bad at all. But the way he stands, without the display stand, he tends to fall off. But thankfully, he does come with a display stand, so he won't fall off. But the problem is that he's leaning forward, which is weird. I don't know why. But still really not too bad. That's it for Dracula. And moving on to the Wolfman here. Yeah, the Wolfman here, it looks like the Wolfman, even though if he was a Scooby-Doo character. Still really not too bad at all, not too bad. The sculpted fur looks good. The nose looks good. The ears, very pointy, but looks good. You can see the teeth right there. And nothing much in the back. You get to take a look at the hands here. You can see some of the long nails on the hands here, and you can see like a little furs coming out of there. And you get like the shirt that's tucked in, some sculpted buttons there, and you can see the little fly on his pants, and you can see the little feet right there, with the little fur sticking out, some nails coming out there as well. On the bottom, there's a single peg hole on his right feet, but there's like a legally on his pants area there on the leg, and in the back there's 2 pockets on the back there as well. Overall, for this Wolfman figure, yeah, it's really not too bad. Not too bad at all. It is in pre-pose, but it might easily fall off. But thankfully, there's a little bit balance to it. But I'm pretty sure you might put on the display stand. So that's it for the Wolfman. And moving on to the Mummy. Another Boris Karloff character. Now, the Mummy here looks pretty good. Not too bad a likeness to Boris Karloff in makeup. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good indeed. And you get the standard mummy pose right there. You see the bandage hanging out. You see the hands right there. Nothing much about it. Just the mummy because with the bandage here. And you get a little bandage right there on the feet there as well. And on the bottom, there's the legalese there and a single peg hole right there as well. Yeah, there's nothing much I can talk about it. Because, come on, it's a mummy. And, oh, I forgot to mention, the hair sculpt looks good. Yes, look back there, even though it's supposed to be, like, thousands years old. So, yeah, for this mummy figure, the mummy figurine looks pretty good. Pretty decent. I really like how he's posed. Which makes more sense. But overall, for the mummy here, it's pretty decent. Now, moving on to articulation. All of them have ball jointed articulation there, and all the monsters except for the mummy, they all have rotated at the arms. But for Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, and well, the Wolfman's right arm is stuck on there. Might use a hairdryer, and just like earlier, and just like before with on the arms, Dracula, Wolfman, and Frankenstein's monster all have wrist articulation. I can't show you that because whoops. But there's a wrist rotation there on all 3 of them except for the mummy. Looks like there's like a waist articulation, but it doesn't move. I don't want to easily break on 3 of them. Well, for the mummy, there's like a little waist articulation, or like the little seam line for the articulation on the waist, but yeah, I don't want to force and break this figure. And all three of them, except for the mummy, do have ball jointed at the ankles there. So yeah, even though they're pre-posed, but still really pretty decent. Oh, let me just put them on this side here. For accessories, well, they don't come with all the accessories except for Dracula. He does come with the little candle with a little flame on lighted up there. Then you can put it on his hand like so. I mean, it will fall off a little bit easy, but still not too bad if you get it closer. And I mentioned earlier, he does come with a display stand because he cannot, oh, there it goes. Because he does not stand on its own without the display stand. And of course, since they all are Toony terrors, they do came with background drops of each of these characters. For Frankenstein's monster, it comes with a windmill background. Dracula and the coffin, the castle in the background. The Wolfman, you get the horse and the woods there. And the mummy, you get the pharaoh, you get the statue and the pharaoh thing placed in the background as well. Then you need to cut it, and then boom, there we go. Yeah, not too bad at all. Not too bad. But overall, for these figures, yeah, I'd say these are pretty cool. I really like them. Yeah, I'm very happy to have the entire wave for my collection. Yeah, I'm very impressed by these figures. The likeness of each characters look good. Even though they're supposed to be based on the cartoons. Or if they were in a Scooby-Doo cartoon. Yeah, for the Frankenstein monster, it looks good. The Wolfman looks good. Dracula is good. Including the mummy. Well, the mummy is cool. But the only problem is that for Dracula, he leans forward. I don't know why. I don't know why he does that. Maybe I might easily fix it with hot water and stuff like that. But in the meantime, they're pretty decent. And I do recommend getting these figures if you're a big Universal Monster fans. And I know Series 12 just came out, or by the time of it, it hasn't come out. But when I upload it, it's already out. So I'm pretty sure I might get the rest of the Universal Monsters from Series 12 of Toony Terrors. Yeah, but as of right now, I'm really happy with these figures. Yeah, I'm definitely do recommend getting all 4 of them for your collection. For my rate, I'm going to give the Frankenstein monster a 9 out of 10. The Wolfman, 9 out of 10 as well. The Mummy, I will probably give him like an 8 out of 10. And for Dracula, 7 out of 10, just because he leans forward. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, please consider like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're new to my channel. And follow me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. All 3 links will be in the description down below. That's all I have to say. These are the NECA Toony Terrors Series 10 of the Universal Monsters figures that features Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, and the Mummy, all made by NECA. And this is J.A.R. 369. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow on my next horror toy review for 31 horror toys in 31 days.